Yeah, slightly, just slightly. The Black Queens during 3-3 were Cote d'Ivoire just put me in all kind of spaces because I thought we've gone to a stage where we've passed drawing with Cote d'Ivoire because they don't even take their women football that seriously. They literally told their women that they can't afford for them to play in the qualifiers for the women's AFCON we have qualified to. Competitively, they don't even get as much matches as we do. So drawing against them just put me in some kind of space because
very interesting. Mutala, welcome. How are you? Briefly, how are you? Because we have an important call to handle.
It's not been a good week at all. It started from yesterday. I mean, being said with a one-sided Champions League final that I feel I wasted 90 minutes to watch. And today it started well. I went to a birthday party, but in the last 3 hours,
if I tell you what he went
in the last 3 hours, it's been chaotic.
Hey.
And as of now, we are making some calls. Some people are not picking. People who were at certain venues who should be picking our calls and telling us what is happening. They are not picking.
We will get into that very, very shortly. Augustine, how are you?
Bro.
Yes.
How are you? That was the question. I'm fine.
I'm not fine.
Okay.
You are not fine.
It's okay.
Okay, we'll get into why you are not fine.
Up.
But we have someone new here joining us on Sports
Yes.
Autos. Manny, how are you? How are you doing?
I'm doing great.
I can see you are wearing a Manchester United
Yes.
shirt.
And I had Manchester United.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You wanted to use backdoor to qualify Champions League. Can it
Yes,
work? Okay.
it almost worked, but
Don't worry, we'll have time for you.
We'll have time for you, Pa. But let's go on to the phone lines because Kennedy Boachi Ansa, who is part of the brands team of Nations FC, has joined us live here on Sports Ultras on 3FM 92.7. Kennedy, if you can hear me, good evening. How are you doing?
Good evening. I'm very fine. I hope you're also fine too.
Yes, I'm also fine. We'll get straight into it. The matter at hand is Nations FC Basake Holy Stars in the Ghana Premier League. We understand that Nations FC abandoned the game. What exactly happened in that particular match?
Thank you very much. I mean, the events before, during the game necessitated that we needed to abandon the game because we didn't want a repetition of what happened to Napoli. I got to, as you can see, around 9 a.m. and realized that there were some personalities on motorbikes who were trailing our movement. When the team even got to the stadium, it took about 20 or so minutes before the team bus was allowed to enter the stadium. Mind you, before then, the TV crew from Alpha TV had also been denied access to set up to cover the game live. I was personally denied entry into the stadium for about 20 minutes when the game started. Unfortunately for me, once I was allowed entry to the stadium, so about 20 macho men approached me and asked I should get out of the stadium. And I just needed to comply. So the grounds were not too fertile for Nations FC. And like I mentioned, they didn't want any repetition of whatever happened to Napoli. And so we decided that in the interest and for the safety of our supporters and our players, we needed to abandon the game, which we did.
If I get you correctly, before the game, broadcasters were around. They were not allowed to broadcast the game.
Yes, I don't know for whatever reason, but I know that the GFA schedule, we received an article or a flyer from the GFA notifying us that the game was going to be being live on TV. But that's not even my bone of contention. My issue is that if you want to beat Nations FC, beat the team of Fairgrounds. I mean, we are beatable. You want to avoid relegation, but don't use foul means to win your games. It's extremely unfair. And maybe, to quote Dr. Kwame, maybe we might disband Nations FC and just forget about running football in this country. Because it's not worth it. For whatever we saw today and what we were subjected to, it's not worth being Ghana football. Maybe we might have to advise ourselves.
You mentioned what you were subjected to. We understand that 2 penalties were given in favor of Basake Holy Stars. And it was from right after the second penalty was given, that is when the actions happened. Can you run me through what exactly the team did the moment that second penalty was given? Were officials talked to?
Unfortunately, I can't make an informed judgment on the matter because, like I mentioned, I was not allowed to watch the game. So I didn't see the 2 penalties, whether they were fair penalties or not. But what I know for a fact is that all the 2 penalties were the referee said that the players should retake the 2 penalties. And that's extremely absurd. We will sit down tomorrow. I'm extremely down. We will sit down tomorrow and we'll decide our next line of action. But maybe we might disband the team. Let's go away. It's not worth being Ghana for.
So right now, what step again is Nations FC taking? Has a complaint been filed to the Ghana Football Association? What have you guys done after abandoning the game?
It depends on a report from the bank commissioner, but we'll file an official complaint to the GFA, and we'll see whatever decision the FA will take. And like I mentioned, I'm not interested in Ghana football anymore. We are tired because he just wanted 3 points. There's no need threatening lives. They told us either we lose the game or they kill somebody today. And that's why we had to ask our supporters to walk out of the stadium. And that's why I personally walk out of the stadium too. It's a sad situation, Chairman. But we'll sit tomorrow and then we'll decide. But for now, they should take their league.
Thank you very much, Kennedy, for spending some time with us. Sounds like someone who is very, very frustrated with what has happened today in the Ghana Premier League. Of course, we will bring in the communicator from Basake Holy Stars later on the show. But Augustine, I'm sure you were following proceedings in the Ghana Premier League today. What came to mind? How did you feel?
One song came into mind.
Hey, right now, have you turned into a music? That's why you're wearing sheets.
No. Calm down.
Is that why you're wearing sheets?
No.
Okay. Continue.
One song came into mind, and the song is "This is our own. Let's cherish our own. Ghana Premier League is back again." Almost say "Enti ye the odo kan we be ye de." Is this laugh? Bill, is this odo? Is this odo? I'll say "Enti ye the enije kan we be ye de."
No, what do you mean?
Is this the happiness? Bill, I listened to an audio of what happened on the pitch. And then in the initial stages, I thought it was an action movie.
An audio?
Yes, an audio. Of what, not, I watched the video, but the video was far from the incident, so you could see what was happening.
Yeah.
But I listened to an audio, and it was like an action movie.
What was the audio about?
The audio was about what transpired on the pitch.
Which pitch?
Where Basake Holy Stars hosted Nations FC.
That is what I wanted to hear, because the pitches were 9.
Bill, the players, the club administrators, they are human beings before these rules. We should understand that. And if you can, by any means, prevent this from happening, you should do that. The first sign was what Mr. Kennedy told us, that the team bus even was delayed upon getting to the stadium. And they even didn't want to allow the bus to enter. And even on social media, we heard that media personnel were not allowed to enter at the initial stages, which they later had the chance to enter. And the official broadcaster of our league, they were not even allowed to enter. And you tell me that you want to passport to come and broadcast this? Come on, we are joking. In literature, in school, I learned something called fallacy, something intended to make people laugh. This is the epitome of fallacy, I tell you. Because if the official broadcast...
Which school did you attend? Who taught you that is the definition of fallacy in literature?
Bill.
Continue.
If this that we are watching, it is intended to make people laugh. Because for some of us, most of the youth don't even have interest in the Ghana Premier League. For some of us who decided to stand for the Ghana Premier League, Charlie, now I'm ashamed. I've not tweeted since 3 p.m.
Oh.
And people have been tagging me. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. Bill, I might not go into the matter because I was not there.
Yes.
But per what we heard before the match, Charlie, I'm not in support of Nations FC boycotting the game anyway, because that's something unprofessional. A similar thing happened at Wenchi last week when Heart of Lions played Young Apostles. There was a video where the bench of Heart of Lions was attacked. Would the GFA prosecutor tell me that he has not seen the video?
Hey.
Have you seen any communique from them? So are they telling us that was not in the report of the match commission or whatever? We've not heard anything about it. This thing started from somewhere in Swatre where we witnessed the demise of the late Poli. And we thought we were going to learn our lessons from this. The league was on hold for some time. We came back, and this is still happening. Well, for some of us who depend on the league to satisfy Abraham Maslow's first the point of this, the first and basic need.
Yeah, basically you
yes,
continue.
Basically me.
Yes.
I will not be able to say that I'm going to give up on the league. But then, if I satisfy that, I'll run away.
Okay. Mutala, at this point at Nations FC, I mean, they've abandoned the game. So what does this mean? Does it mean that Basaka gets 3 points, 3 goals, and would there be any sanctions?
Of course,
Nations?
definitely it would go to the disciplinary committee of the GFA. By tomorrow, we are going to have a verdict on the issue. But one thing that I know about the rules is that once you abandon the game, it means you forfeit the 3 points and the 3 goals. You forfeit the 3 points. So abandoning the game is really not an option. Usually play on, then you lodge your complaint after the game. And also a lot depends on the match commissioner's report. From what Kennedy was saying, he was talking about the safety of the team and the safety of their officials.
Yeah.
Maybe that could really give them a chance at having something in this game. Maybe the FA, I think the most extreme this could go is a replay of the game or a continuation from where it stopped.
Yeah.
That could be the extreme that I would know.
Yeah.
But for the points to be awarded to Nations FC, it seems a bit impossible. I think it would easily go to Baseke Holy Stars. If they are stayed on the pitch, then they have a case. Abandoning the game is always not an option. It makes your case worse, even though they were talking about the fact that there were a lot of security, they were at risk in there. But again, the disciplinary committee will say, let me see the referee's report and let me see the match commissioner's report. Whatever he says in there will be used to rule against them. Again, why didn't we have TV coverage for this game? This was a high-profile Ghana Premier League. Despite the fact that Baseke Holy Stars is not one of the giants in the Ghana Premier League, it was a Category A game because there was a lot at stake. Baseke Holy Stars risks going to relegation. Nations FC were on the verge of winning their first ever Ghana Premier League. So a lot of attention needed to go there. There's absolutely no reason why this game should not be on TV. Absolutely no reason. And that must also be looked into. The issue of broadcasters getting to match venues and being denied opportunity of filming the game should be long gone.
Yeah.
We are not playing a jungle league. We've been civilized up to this point. And people talk about the fact that a camera is anywhere but show. Even Barcelona stream their training on YouTube. Chelsea stream their training on YouTube. They still go out there and win games. It's not about the cameras. Inter Milan beat Barcelona. The whole world saw it. Barcelona could have said, camera because we want to calm them and beat them. No, if you are good enough, irrespective of the camera, you can still play your game. They are talking about 2 decisions going against them, 2 penalty decisions, which clearly you can hear that they were not happy, and that was the one that instigated all this issue of, NTS, we are not going to play again. I am only disappointed because Nations FC didn't continue the game. But again, I am not there, so I can't state categorically how the security issue was, because Kennedy makes it clear that they were under threat. They didn't want the Swatre incident to happen again, and we all don't want it to happen again. We've seen videos of clashes between Kofi Mensah of Nations FC and some officials of Baseke Stars, but that doesn't present us with the full story. My only disappointment is, irrespective of what was happening, abandoning the game is always not an option. For now, it looks like the BNE Gold Stars are smiling. I am going through Twitter and I'm seeing a few posts from some of their officials, and they are all writing it is coming home. Finally, we have done it and all that, because they are very confident that the last game against Accra Lions, who themselves are still waiting to know the verdict between Holy Stars and Nations FC, because if anything goes in favor of Holy Stars, Accra Lions are relegated. As it stands, they are relegated, because it looks like Holy Stars may be awarded with the 3 points. So Baby and the Gold Stars are licking their lips, knowing that tomorrow, when the decision is made or when the verdict comes, it could go in favor of Holy Stars. And once it does, it means that they have won the league. What I am not happy about is the last statement that Kennedy made before, going off, that Omon Formu League, we are not going to play again. I am hearing rumors or reports that Nations FC want to pull out of the league, and that will be a huge blow to Ghana football, because they have some of the finest brains as far as football is concerned, not just on the pitch where you can talk about the likes of Razak Simpson, Faisal Chiwate, but even administratively. Kennedy Boachiansa that you spoke to, he's been a communications director of Asante Kotoko before. He is one person that knows football inside out. Dr. Kwame Che, the owner of the club, has been a long-standing football administrator. So I don't want all these brains to go out. Already we've lost in Swateman, who has some of the finest brains as well. So we don't want this to happen. Young Kwanye League now, every year, it's one person is pulling out, I won't play again. And anytime we are ending the league, it becomes too predictable. People can easily predict what will happen. I told you something this afternoon, that somebody will score 2 goals somewhere and all that. No, it becomes too predictable. It shouldn't be like that, because this is a product that we are trying to sell to the world. It's sad and unfortunate that we've had about 32 weeks of interesting football, and just 2 weeks to end the season. This comes up. But this game not being on TV, the FA should go deeply into it and investigate. And whoever prevented the TV crew from filming the game should be sanctioned.
Before I bring Akosia in, let me briefly bring the new guy in. Manny, how are you? Manny, have you? I don't know if you're a keen follower of the Ghana Premier League, but even as a casual, with all that has been happening recently in the last few years, have you sort of lost faith in the competition?
Not necessarily. I'm a keen follower because I like to support Kotoko a lot. I follow them a lot. So what happened at Insatre made me lose interest at all. I was like, I won't watch GPL again because someone died because of football, only for us to hear what happened today. And I'm like, I thought we were coming to talk about the maths in the final game, who is going to win who is going to win who, and only for this to happen. It's sad. It
really is. Because you are talking of the math, it looks like the BNE Gold Stars, they are smiling power. Their last game is at home against Pando Hearts of Lions, I believe. Accra Lions. Oh, even worse.
But Bill, does it even matter at this point? Does it even matter at this point? It doesn't. Last season, it was comical. This season, it's another episode of comedy. And it just makes you, one, lose focus and want to channel your energy into something else. Maybe do more women football. Sometimes there's peace there. Maybe follow Black Queens more. Honestly, because listen, we can't keep on having the same thing happening over and over and over and over and over and over again. Listen, clubs preventing broadcasters from broadcasting games didn't start like last season. It was done to SuperSport. It was done to GBC. It was done to Max TV sometimes. Mutala. Star Times sometimes. So it's something that keeps on happening. And if we've not found a solution to it, it's never going to change. And when we know that when there are crucial games like this Holy Stars and Nations FC game, there was no reason why there shouldn't be camera. I remember the season Wild All Stars won the league. The game between Wild All Stars and Nigeria Stars, that first game was broadcasted. The second one, Awa, Nigeria were begging those who were broadcasting the league at the time that you need to come and broadcast this game. Even if it's not on your schedule, come and broadcast this game, because they know what can happen if you don't put the games live for people to watch. So they come with all the problems AFA are going through. They pack their cables. They have almost 1 million cables. They take their time to pack those cables, put them in a car, and come all the way to where Baseke you play your games, and you prevent them from coming in. Hopefully, we will not be talking to any football administrator who will talk about how they need support to come into it. They don't need any kind of support. They have everything they need. Whatever they know that they need, they know how to get it. They know not to get it in the first round of the league when it starts. They know not to get it when we start the second round. They know how to get it when it gets to the final 5 games for the season to end, or the final 10 games for the season to end. Because we're not saying that in other leagues it's perfect. But then in other leagues, you don't get results of how things are going to pan out, how many goals somebody is going to score in the first. This morning, I was seeing on Twitter, all over Twitter, someone is going to score 3-2. This, that. I'm seeing everywhere. Then it comes to pass. Listen, it gets boring when you have to always talk about the same thing and when it's not even positive. And in this particular season, somebody losing their life. Listen, the same thing that we saw pictures from the Baseke Nations when they said, oh, they won't allow the Nations FC fans, they are not selling tickets to Nations FC. That's basically the same thing that happened when Kotoko went to Nsuatreman. We saw videos of when they were trying to prevent the Kotoko Timbers from entering. We saw Pole changing his Kotoko changing from a mufti to the Kotoko jersey when he got to the stadium. We heard narratives, or he himself, when he was alive, said on radio once that they said they were going to do something to him, allegedly, and so he begs. It's just football he's supporting. And today, Kennedy is telling us, once they told him that they won't allow him to enter, and people told him he shouldn't even attempt, or threatened him that he shouldn't even attempt. It's like, okay, let me go and find him. After all, it's Ghana Premier League. People will get their 3 points, and what will happen? Nothing will happen to you. In German, when they said they are not going to play the league, who will go and force them to play? I mean, it's not nice. Last season, the same thing. Some things happening with RTU, playing players who were sitting at home somewhere in their girlfriend's room, somewhere doing all sort of things. But then we were reporting that they were scoring goals. Now the player they say is scoring a goal is on radio saying, "I'm not the one. I was not there." Like, this is the Ghana Premier League. It's almost as if it's a comical thing we are doing, and every other season we need to upgrade the level of comedy so that we understand. Listen, I have a friend who says this, that sometimes when God wants to have a good laugh, he tunes his satellite to Ghana. And when he tunes it to Ghana, he tunes it to the Ghana Premier League. And he has the best of laughs that he can have.
But I personally fear for cases where teams decide to totally withdraw from the Ghana Premier League competition. I think it's not something that should be encouraged, not because of the clubs. Maybe they do have a case, but for the players who are involved in this, For example, when Nswatreman withdrew from the Ghana Premier League, recently, when I went to chase Crystal Palace fans, right, and I went to that that pitch that they were in, and then they decided to do some drama and all of that, I saw Benjamin Chivanyo there playing for a local club, only team. He's literally searching for like a good team to play in, and that's literally one of our best youngsters. He's played in the under 17. He played in the Wafu with Underline Kingston and all of that. He was the captain. I remember him very well. And even in one of those trips some years ago, he scored a hat trick. Everyone was praising him. Now he's in search of a club, right, that he can play for and try and get something small. So it stunts players' growth. I'll be concerned about the likes of Razak Simpson. Maybe he might get a move because of the Black Stars and all of that. But what about Faisal Shawati? Yeah, literally all the rest of their players. Where would they go? They will take a step back, basically. So it's not something that really should be encouraged. But I hope a quick resolution is found by the GFA and for Nations FC as well, because this is not a situation that we want to find ourselves in, where we question the integrity of the Ghana Premier League. It's not healthy at all. It doesn't inspire fans to go to stadiums, and we've seen that a lot these days. So hopefully that is solved, and that is solved as soon as possible. Ghana Premier League, we'll be watching you, especially in the next few days. But please, we can go to the camp of the Black Stars, because at least
we
they
didn't go to Basake.
Oh, Basake. We've tried. See, okay. So Basake, we've tried calling, but unfortunately, we can't reach our communicator from Basake. Yeah, communicator, we can't reach him. I don't know what's happening, but we can't reach him. But we'll get whenever we get an update from Basake, we will let you know. Anyways, Unity Cup. We saw the Black Stars finish third in that friendly tournament, and of course against Trinidad and Tobago we saw them play beautiful football, auto ball, 4-0 and all of that. I'll first start with you, Manny. Did you watch that game, and were you impressed with the result?
Yes, I was really impressed, especially in the first half. We played for the first 10 minutes, we played smooth football, auto ball, as he said. And I was particular about some players starting. For instance, the Nations FC defender Razak, because in the first game we've seen Razak, so I was expecting others to show up, like give the other players opportunities to play. However, Razak Simpson showed, and then he scored a goal, and then our experienced striker Jordan gave us a brace. So I was really happy, especially when our first game with Nigeria, it wasn't good at all, especially in the first half. We didn't do well, but yesterday's game was so great. We did well.
Akosia, were you impressed personally with how?
I was as impressed as you are right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about, but please go on.
I mean, listen, when we play, say, against Nigeria, maybe we are losing or drawing, there are really, you can look at some pointers and you want to discuss. Maybe, this Nigerian player played well, they were able to string more than 20 passes together heading into the goal. You can list those things. But if you're playing against Chad, Trinidad, and Tobago, listen, there is nothing we want to come and discuss about how good those teams are, because they can't be better than you. Because while you are going into the game, you already know the games they've played. We've seen them as well. So it was good that they scored the number of goals they did, especially from set pieces. Because we know that the Black Stars don't usually score from set pieces. That was good. I was happy for the kind of relief Razak Simpson got in that game. Getting that goal. Yeah, as a centre-back, we don't usually want him to be scoring goals. We want him to be a very formidable side, a pillar in defence. But then if you are able to surge forward, so you better be giving us something. And he surged forward, got us that goal, which is very, very good. So we're happy. Particularly, I am happy for that. And I was the one who was even saying, I'm happy we had some Ghana Premier League players in there who were surging forward, hoping to get goals and maybe even get the opportunity of their lifetime by sliding, do a knee slide when they score. I was quite disappointed when he did. I was quite disappointed when he didn't do that because I'm like, where else do you want to score and do any slide? This would be like one of the things on every Ghana Premier League player's top list. Like, if I score a goal at a stadium that I know has a very good pitch.
So what are you trying to say about Ghana?
No, listen. When you play in Ghana, where can you do any slide?
Oh, you can't do it at Accra Sports Stadium.
Accra Sports Stadium. Accra Sports Stadium. I mean, that's on a lighter note, but I was just happy that we were able to score from set pieces and Jordan also getting in, the new players as well getting in some goals. It was very, very good.
Mutala, I think some particular players stood out, right? Christopher Bonsuba was one, Calibri.
It's Trinidad and Tobago. Let's not make it look like we played some wild team B and we were able to. It's Trinidad and Tobago. Let's not wax lyrical about this. I am only happy because some young players have been given the opportunity and they've taken the opportunity. So the next Black Star squad in September for the World Cup qualifiers, we are expecting to see at least some two key names. That is Christopher Bonsuba and maybe Kelly Birenchi, depending on who is available and who is not. Because I feel if the likes of Thomas Partey, the likes of Ibrahim Suleiman are all available, it could be a bit difficult. But what the good thing for Kelly Birenchi is that he's versatile. He's not only going to play as a midfielder or going to be selected based on the midfield. Every coach selects a player and looks at one or two versatile players that he can include in the team who can come into the team whenever it's necessary. And Kelly Birenchi is that one player who could fit in at right back and also in midfield. These days, I don't think Odoi would have a chance of getting back into the Black Stars. It looks like his days at the Black Stars. Yeah, it'd be like Otuado retire for this. So let's see how that one goes. But I feel Christopher Bonsuba has justified himself, and in future call-ups, he must be there.
But before we continue on the Black Stars conversation, an official statement is out from Nations FC following their abandonment of the game. And this is what they are saying. They highlighted 5 key points as to why they decided to abandon that game against Basake Holy Star. So I'm going to list those points. One is poor officiating. And they are saying that the level of officiating was extremely poor and fell well below the expected standards. And this compromised the fairness and credibility of the match. Very, very strong words. Second is security concerns. And they're basically saying their presidents, Mr. Divine Che Boedu and Chairman Dr. Kwame Che, were physically assaulted by home supporters. Wow. Now, this is really serious. Inadequate security personnel. And they said the pre-match arrangement stipulated deployment of 70 police officers. However, fewer than 20 officers were present on the day. I think this in particular, this is very concerning because we had discussions on how we should improve security personnel following the death of Nana Poli and all of that. So if this is true, then the GFA...
I clearly know the answer that the FA would give concerning the limited number of police personnel. I have something in mind.
What's the answer?
They listed categories of games and say for category A games, we'll have this number of police personnel there. Someone out there will come and tell us this was not viewed as a category A game. That is why we didn't. But this was a game of high interest to both parties. So depending on the situation, it can become a category A game. Imagine today, Heart of Folk and Legon Cities were playing. A win for Heart of Folk would ensure they stay in the league or win the league. A win for Legon Cities will ensure they also stay in the league or win the league. You don't view Legon Cities as a small club and say it's not a category A game. The situation at hand is an interesting one. So you mark it as a category A game. So it's not, I always have issues with the teams involved. When you use the teams, the status of the teams involved or the stature of the teams involved to list the categories, then you get it wrong. I think the situation at hand must always make it a category A game. In Nations FC are playing Baby Any Gold Stars. Would you say both teams are not category A teams, so it's not a category A game? No. So this was a category A game, and a lot of police presence should have been on the ground. Because if you see the videos or the footage circulating, the number of personnel there could not even handle Kofi Mensah when he was fighting with the officials.
Bill,
Yes.
so the categories are here.
Yes, please, God.
So category A are matches that involves Kotoko and Hatofok.
Okay.
Category B, matches involving either Hearts or Kotoko and other clubs. The operational requirement will be police personnel of 40 to 80 men.
Oh, that means they've still
Military,
Yeah,
5
they've
to
still
10
gone.
soldiers.
Oh, they've still gone below.
Category C, matches between Premier League clubs other than Hearts and Kotoko. So this falls under category
Oh, okay.
C.
Basically category C.
Then
Yes.
let's go. Policemen, 15 policemen, between 15 and 40.
They are within the threshold, basically.
Armed forces, between 5 and 10 men. Ghana National Fire Service, between 5 and 10 men. Medical team, between 5 and 10 men. Red Cross, 5. St. John's, whatever, ambulance, 1 or 2. So
Okay.
they could have been within the Ghana police standard, the
Yes.
15 to 40.
Yes.
But did they have armed forces there? That's the question.
So this
we find
has
out
been
later.
marked as a category C game.
Yes,
Category C.
You cannot tell me this is
No, like this is what the FA brought out after.
that is why I'm saying that. Do you know there's the law
Yes.
and
Yes.
there's common law?
Yeah.
There's the law
Yes,
itself and there's common law.
Yes.
This is where you apply common law.
Yes.
Knowing what is at stake for both clubs,
Yeah.
irrespective of the status of the clubs or the stature of the clubs. It's not has Kotoko, but what is at stake is big. One club will be relegated and the other can win the Premier League. So you mark it as a category A game. So today you want to tell me how to focus in Legon cities was marked as category what? B. So the police listen. So you want to tell me the police personnel at the University of Ghana Sports Stadium were more than the
Jay.
police personnel?
I'm not the one. It's the FA telling you.
Yes.
But the bottom part of the article says that the league organizers also explained that the above figures are subject to variations depending on the situation. That's what Mutales.
Okay, then that's where it falls in. Then maybe
So this one could have been category B.
Yes.
Even if not A.
yes,
It
maybe
is A. It is not B. One team needs the points to stay in the league.
And
One team needs the points to win the league. It's a category A.
relax,
So you
relax.
don't bring 50
Relax.
or 30 policemen to the University of Ghana and send 20 to the Enzima land to
relax. So what did category B say specifically?
It
With regards
says
to the
that-
police.
requirements. Police personnel should be between 40 and 80 men.
And they stated 70. So maybe they were communicated to that this is category B and they should expect this. So that is why they are saying
Yes,
this.
so 70. And
Okay.
they said the number they had was even less than 20.
Yes, less than 20, which isn't good. Disrespect to supporters and also media obstruction. Wow. Supporters, they are saying that they held match tickets, but they were not allowed to enter the stadium. And the media obstruction, their club videographer, who had full authorization from the GFA to come and take videos, was prevented from recording the match by both supporters and officials of the home team.
And he did the official broadcaster said
This one, Basake has to come and either deny or, because there are some bits that relate to Basake and they have to come and give their own verdict on it. But we'll get back to this later in other bulletins. But this is not looking good at all. It might be a long drag issue. But still on the Black Stars, Augustine,
Yeah, Bill.
looking at what has happened, are you confident that a couple of players or some players will make it to the Black Stars in September?
Yes, I'm confident that some players will make it to the squad, especially with the two names Mutala mentioned. But I also fear for some players as well, especially some GPL players who are not fortunate enough to be thrown into the first game, that shambolic first half against Nigeria. So it affected them, of course. People couldn't get a chance to see how good Kamaradine Mamoudou is. He was a ghost in the game, and Kwampoku was like Benjamin Azamati in the game, or Abdul Rashid in the game. He was just running up and down, so we couldn't resist them. So it makes it a bit difficult for them. But for some players like Caleb Yentru, I believe this is the breakthrough for him, and then almost everyone is talking about him. And the fact that even he didn't play his normal position or the role given to him is something that he has above all the players. I believe the new guys we have in the squad, Mohamed Hussein also came, got a goal, who has not really made a case for himself, made a case. So I think it has been good for those new names.
Indeed. Agozia, please. I saw things on social media regarding the Black Queens. Black Queens went 3-1 up. Oh, we thought we are fine. And then, quick, 3-3. Some people are saying Kim Las Wasan. What say you?
I just think that it's still early days for us to talk about whether Kim Las is a good coach or a good fit for the Women's African Cup of Nations, because we shouldn't forget that when Nora started, we didn't have anything going for us for probably like 6 months or even 8. So she had the opportunity to play some friendlies. She was playing a lot of friendlies, and she wasn't even playing it with the best African teams. She was playing with Senegal, she was playing with Benin. Those were the countries she was playing against. But if there was one thing that was very significant about what Nora built a special team that could pass the ball, that could actually play. And for Kim, he just fell into it, and the AFCON is looking right at us. So he needs to start getting how he would want the team to play. This is first time on the African continent. Yes, when he was at Louisville, he had the opportunity to play or manage some African players, one Nigerian, and also in another team, worked with Katlana of South Africa. But the thing is, this is a whole different space for him. And it's good he's getting these friendlies. Because if you are in a group with South Africa, Mali, and then Tanzania, it's good you play against a country like Morocco, because for now they are on the same level. So it's good you play with a country like Morocco. Even if you draw or lose against them, at least you know what you have to go back home to learn. But then if you are not winning against Senegal, if you are not winning 3-0, 4-0 against Senegal, whom you've played, we played Senegal when Nora was still managing us. Even though it wasn't a big score line, it was like 1-0 there, but we were still building at that level, so it was okay. Then if we go to Cote d'Ivoire, and then we already up 3-1, and we know what is at stake. While we're training now, it's the World Cup. It's the Women's African Cup of Nations, and we are getting into it. We don't have to be losing focus. We don't have to be, some may say it's match fitness. Then I'm like, they all just finished playing their respective leagues. Some, probably their leagues are still going on, but we're using the best players we have now, according to the call-up of the coach. All our best players are there. And then we are bringing in new players, blending them in. Is it that the new players are not getting the understanding of how this team has worked all this while? But it looks as if even when they play, they are able to fit in. I'm sure everyone was wowed by how Josephine played when she was added into the team. I'm sure Kwanzaa had highlights of her somewhere, maybe on his YouTube. But then we all enjoyed that. So for now, I just want to watch our second game against Cote d'Ivoire. That's tomorrow. When I watch it, I want to watch exactly and understand exactly why we are not even able to have so many passes, hold on to the ball. Because if there's one thing I know about these foreign coaches, it's how they want you to play. They don't want you to just get the ball and parry it. No, they want you to have the nice control of it, pass it, have some nice, good passes, and make it look like, yeah, we understand what we're doing, and not just about the physicality of the game. And so it would take a lot, yes, for us to maybe see ourselves as being a very good team out there. Thankfully, this is not a year where we qualify to the World Cup. So whatever stage we get to, it's still okay. I mean, our FIFA ranking may come down a bit, but then if we allow this coach to still be in charge, but others are now calling for Yusuf Basigi or Joat Nana Adakwa to join the technical team. I mean, something They could if they want to. And even Yusuf Basigi, when I spoke with him when he came to Ghana, we remember when he said that he wouldn't mind, because by this time that they are going for the Women's African Cup of Nations, the league would have been over. And so he wouldn't mind joining the technical team. But then let's just give him some grace period. Let's watch him against Cote d'Ivoire again tomorrow, because they will still have maybe 2 friendlies before the Women's AFCON. And probably by that time, he would have learned everything he needs to learn.
We'll see in the next game against Ivory Coast if he wins, or if we see some more positive things. But Saturday I watched one of the most lopsided Champions League finals I've ever seen, which made me realize that Arsenal is not a serious club, because they could have easily dispatched this Inter. Anyways, Manny, did you watch the game? Yeah, he did. So what did you realize? I mean, was it deserved for PSG?
I think if we are to play the final again, Inter will still lose with a whooping margin.
Oh.
Yes, because the game was about endurance and fitness. The first 10 minutes, I watched the pressing of PSG. Dembele was always on the run. Due was just switching. And then Acerbi, 37-year-old, Bastoni is 26, Pavard 31, Mkhitaryan is 35, Çalhanoğlu is 31. Against Vitinha, João Neves, Fabian Ruiz, these are runners. They were just switching, moving the pace, so they couldn't match it. So I realized they had to do some changes in the defense, but it wasn't still working for them. Due has really impressed me. Initially, when they started the season, PSG started the season, they were playing Bracula a lot. And then Due came in. And that guy plays, he can play at the right, he can play in the middle, left. He's so dynamic. And that makes him different and very difficult. Unlike Yamal is so direct, he goes, but Due can switch all of a sudden, go to the middle, come to the left.
Already, where's this Yamal Due thing coming from?
Charlie, yeah,
it looks like in recent time, if any player blows up, he's being compared to Lamine Yamal. I remember the days of Hazard at Chelsea. We started from Hazard against Mo Salah, Hazard against. We compared Hazard to every player.
It's because Yamal is now the standard for the young players.
Well,
he is the standard. You can't beat him. It's not like Due is better than, but what he did yesterday in the Champions League final was superb. And also Dembele, I don't know how the Ballon d'Or conversation would go, but it's looking good for him.
So if Dembele wins the Ballon d'Or, it means say the whole world he play ball.
No.
Ah.
I don't think so.
But what does it mean? Augustine, if Dembele wins the Ballon d'Or, does it not mean that he is the best player in the whole world? Even when you come to Brekum Chelsea, when you go to Holy, he's the best player in the world.
According to those who voted.
But that is the standard in the world now.
Yes.
If someone wins the Grammy, the best rap category, he's the best rapper in the world.
Yes.
Because that is the highest form of award you can get. So if Dembele wins, if Rafinha had won, it means the whole world, plus India, plus everywhere, plus Canada, Kokomlemle, Rafinha is the best player. So that's what it will mean. That Dembele is the best player in the world.
So Mutala, who is your best player in the world?
Who is my best player in the world?
Yes.
According to my friend.
No, according to you.
Yes. According to
you.
Currently.
Yes.
The best player in the world. I'll go for Mo Salah.
Okay. Why him though? He didn't win Champions League.
And it comes back it comes back to the winning of the Champions League. So you want to tell me because he didn't win the Champions League and others went on to win it, they are better than him? And when it comes to these team awards, I do not really use it as a criteria, because anyone at all can go on and win the Champions League. Farasilia went on to win the Champions League. Is he a better winger than Mo Salah? No. Not at all. So when it comes to, individual awards and you want to use team achievement, it's a bit dicey. But again, it counts. In the year that someone wins the World Cup, that person can easily go on and win the Ballon d'Or. For me, Mo Salah is the best player in the world currently. But when you are talking about trophies being won, Champions League coming in, then Dembele would get the nod ahead of him.
But
yeah.
you see, when you bring Mo Salah into the conversation, you talk about the big matches. He doesn't show up. That's what is affecting him. He doesn't show up. The final against Madrid, it wasn't his fault, but he didn't show up. Against PSG, at Anfield, he didn't show up. Dembele did the job for PSG. I mean, so that's where the voters they'll put all these things together and they're like, no, Dembele has 16 goals in the League One and then 6 assists. So, and then the Champions League too, he had a couple of assists and goals.
Yeah.
So overall, Dembele did well. Even in yesterday's game, he wasn't always at the center.
He gave like an assist or two.
Yes.
Yeah.
He would move to the right. The positioning of the players, I think we should give it to Luis Enrique. He was just dominant for Inzaghi.
At this point, Akosia, Salah, Yamal, Dembele, who wins Ballon d'Or?
Without a doubt, Mohamed Salah.
Hey, without a doubt, man. Dembele had the treble.
Listen, since when did we start the Dembele conversation coming? It was after PSG played who? Arsenal.
Oh no.
Not when not when they were winning. No, not when they were winning the French league. Oh.
Conversation has gone for some time, especially the last 3 months to the season. Messi has done it several times. Sometimes for the first half of the season, he will not turn up. When it's left with 3 months to end the season, that's where it turns out. And everybody would be talking about what we've seen recently.
Mutala, that's months. Listen, Dembele.
People are even mentioning him in the conversation about Ballon d'Or conversation now.
Dembele, until when they had won the French league years ago, even before they played against Arsenal, who was even talking about Dembele winning the Ballon d'Or?
Oh, I was. I mentioned him as. Have you forgotten? I mentioned him on Sports Station. I was like, he's the dark horse for the Ballon d'Or.
But still,
yeah, I mentioned dark horse. I believe he was dark horse.
He's the best player in the world.
Oh well, you know rich. You know rich, but this season I think favor him. To be honest,
I'm not saying that I'm not trying to say that he's not played. But what I'm saying is, see, when this conversation started, it was Mbappe, it was Mbappe, Rafinha, Salah.
Yeah.
These were the 3 people we were all talking about. Everybody was marking them to be in pole position for the Ballon d'Or. PSG plays against Arsenal. Then everybody now checks Dembele stats. He has scored this number of goals. Then let's bring him into the conversation. So if you are bringing Dembele in the conversation, is it because of the trophies he has won? Because if it's because of the trophies he has won and not just the Champions League, then it's like when he was winning the French League and scoring all the goals in the French League, who really even gave him a mention? Nobody did. Mo Salah's name was in there even before Liverpool won the Premier League. His name was in there when he had scored 15 goals. Rafinha's name was in there when he had scored 10 goals. All of a sudden, Dembele is in the picture for Ballon d'Or. I'm like, okay, I get it. Because last season, Vinicius Jr., after that last game against Dortmund, everyone was like, Vini and we forgot what Rodri had done, everything. So, I mean, that's the Ballon d'Or. Good PR will always work for you.
Yeah.
So if Rafinha wins the Ballon d'Or, it means the whole world.
Is he the
Rafinha
best player?
Is the best player. Because we could easily say that for Messi and Ronaldo.
Yeah.
Without blinking our eyes.
Yes.
That, he's the best player in the world.
Yeah.
But why can't we say same for Dembele, the Rafinhas? Why?
Charlie, it's like...
It's because of the standard Ronaldo and Messi set. You can easily say that these are the best players in the world.
But you don't have to win the Champions League.
When it comes to the Rafinha, it comes to... And you didn't have to use even individual trophies or team trophies to even grade Ronaldo and Messi. Individually, they were brilliant on the pitch. Yeah. But when it comes to the Dembele's, it comes to the Rafinha's conversation, you would have to use who won what.
Yeah.
Do you know if PSG had not won this Champions League, Rafinha would have been in pole position to win the Ballon d'Or?
Will we have mentioned Dembele's name?
We wouldn't even have mentioned. But PSG struggled to even qualify into the knockout stage. You remember they were struggling and they needed a last but one win to ensure that they qualify. Yeah. Their greatness started from the Liverpool game. Yeah. When they knocked out Liverpool and everyone saw that they had potential. That is where they really came to life. So I want you to accept, if Dembele win, now he be the best player for the world. Why are people like? Why are you fighting so hard? You could easily say that Modric won. You could easily say Modric was the best player in the world.
No.
So why can't you say same for Dembele and Rafinha?
It is too Samui.
Why is it too Samui?
To be honest.
We are saying that in the world, this is the criteria for us to know who is the most brilliant student. If you get A, this one get A, you go get B. And you are saying that, okay, so it means that Augustine is the most brilliant. You say no.
Sometimes.
In the
it doesn't favor the food.
No, I'm not saying the food, but sometimes exam doesn't favor.
Let them go, right? If Dembele wins, he has done greater things. He's led PSG to the French League, which is not a big deal because everybody wins the French League. Once you're a PSG player, if you don't win it, that is why they will sack you.
Yeah.
But winning the Champions League, and there's not been much greatness in terms of other players, especially Mohamed Salah not going on all the way. Even if Liverpool had got into the semi-finals of the Champions League, it would have made a huge case for Mohamed Salah. But because they dropped out, mostly the yardstick is the Champions League.
Yeah.
If we see the two teams who play the Champions League final and we do not have a potential Ballon d'Or, winner in there, that is where the conversation switches back to, okay, who did what in the season? Maybe Lamine Yamal did well with Barcelona, blah, 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 blah. But once you have someone in there who is a potential Ballon d'Or winner, even if the person didn't do enough during the season, that last 3 months of the season is crucial. Usually people look at the last 3 months of the season when they want to have a Ballon d'Or conversation. You can start scoring all the goals from the start of the season. Yeah. But in the second half of the season, from January, if you don't really turn up, people forget you easily. That was the same reason. That was how Inter Milan packaged Onana for us in that Champions League final that they played against Man City, when he was spreading passes across. Many United fans had not watched the Serie A and had not watched Onana being pushed.
Yeah.
But we're swayed by that. You see, all of a sudden, there's a conversation about Desiree Doué.
Yeah.
Being one of the best in the world and all.
Yeah.
That is how human beings are. We always remember what is fresh in front of us. Because 2 weeks, 3 weeks ago, we were all talking about Lamine Yamal being the best player we've ever seen and blah, blah. Now it's Desiree Doué. That's how it happened.
It's okay. It's time, before we go, it's time to praise our very own Abdul Rashid Saminu.
Yeah. Fastest man.
Right now, he's the fastest man in Ghana.
Is he not also the fastest man on earth per the time he did?
Oh, actually, yeah, world leading,
Yeah.
World leading time.
The same
9.86.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That is fast. That is fast. Abdul Saminu Rashid, very well done. And so, because of that, he's qualified to the World Athletics Championships alongside Azamati. So we have some of our best going. August, why are you smiling? I mentioned Azamati. Why are you smiling?
I'm happy. Azamati, the Don Dada. It's good to have a youngster. The Lamine Yamal. Saminu to run with. It's good. It's good for Ghana. I think that's what I was saying for now. It's good.
It's good. Yeah. In addition to our relay team, we have all qualified. So hopefully we can get some more sub-10s so that we get more Ghanaian athletes qualified to the World Athletics Championships in Japan. But very, very impressive run from Abdul Saminu Rashid. Again, congratulations, big congratulations to him. And some updates from the CAF Champions League. Pyramids have officially won it for the first time in their history. They defeated Mamelodi Sundowns by 2-1 to win it, and that would mean that the aggregate scoreline ended up being 3-2 in favor of the Egyptian side. And so very, very big one for Pyramids, and that would mean that possibly they feature in the Club World Cup for next year. So another good one for them as well. But fortunately, that's the time that we have for you here on Sports Ultras on 3FM 92.7. Of course, we'll be giving you further updates on the Nations FC versus Basake Holy Stars issue on subsequent bulletins. So do stay tuned on 3FM and also on TV3 as well for all the updates. And you can follow us on social media at 3SportsGH on X, on Facebook, on Instagram, on TikTok as well. Even on YouTube, we have videos for you as well. We'll see you same time next week. But until then, have a great Sunday evening.